Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about GOG and their push to keep modern games running for modern systems and just kind of in general their new initiative, I guess. We are going to be on PC Gamer once again today, and this is by Joshua Wollens. Thank you for the article. It will be linked down in the description if you'd like to check it out yourself or read along. The title goes, GOG is going to keep games like New Vegas running on modern systems by itself, using its own devs to keep oldies going for generations to come, starting with over 100 entries already fixed up. Now, if no one already knows, GOG is a competitor to Steam and the Epic Game Store. The main difference between GOG and the other places is that they are DRM free, so they don't have any of the systems, the digital rights management stuff that generally comes in digital purchases, and you own 100% of everything that you buy. You have the offline installer and everything. Now, they obviously, for a lot of multiplayer games, if something goes offline, then unfortunately they can't really do anything about that unless they get the servers somehow. But for single player games, they are a big deal, and especially for older games. Even before this initiative, they were pretty good at playing or buying games that are older because they generally also had fan patches already pre-installed, so you didn't have to do it yourself. For instance, one of the ones that I know of is right here, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline. If you bought it on GOG, which I did, it has a bunch of the fan patches that already came out to fix a bunch of stuff and support modern resolutions and stuff like that. Great news, everyone. GOG is making it easier than ever for me to not play anything that came out after the second George W. Bush administration. The company is launching a new GOG preservation program announced today that promised to gather up over 100 games and keep them compatible from now until the end of time, which could be a few years the way things are going. That could be true. And to be fair, also, it's until hopefully this never happens, but it's also until they either go bankrupt, because I sometimes don't understand how GOG makes money, because they're probably, at my best guess, solidly third place when it comes to PC gaming storefronts, and I'm not entirely sure how many people actually buy their games on GOG. Now, to be fair, the people who do buy it on GOG probably only buy stuff on GOG, and they are the go-to place to go to for old school games, other than like itch for indie games. But I really do feel like sometimes I'm slightly worried about if they're actually making enough money or not to keep the lights on. We're excited to launch the GOG Preservation Program, says GOG. It's a new initiative in which we commit our own resources to maintaining games. Compatibility with modern and future systems, over 100 improved classics will receive an official stamp starting November 13th, 3 p.m. CET. So that's already happened a while ago. You can find the full list of games below, and GOG says the list will expand as time goes on. I wonder if I assume they have to get permission to do this, so I wonder if this is costing them, other than the fact that devs are taking time to do this. I wonder how much money they actually have to do in terms of like getting the rights for these, if they do or not, but we'll see. In other words, GOG is taking a growing collection of hand-picked games and running them through a barrage of tests to see if they work accordingly to its own quality standards. Every game in the program will receive ongoing updates and care from GOG, preserving the spirit of the gaming for today's players and generations to come. Plus, the one brought up to snuff gets a shiny silver good old game badge. What up to snuff means for GOG, though, is a bit vague. If you're expecting remasters by another name updates that add spiffy new resolution options or intrigues fancy enhanced textures, it doesn't sound like you'll get them. Instead, GOG says it's aimed to preserve the original game and make it playable on modern machines. This means being very careful with any modifications that might alter the original experience. I mean, I feel like modern resolutions might be a good thing, because I guess it depends on the game, but I feel like it running on modern resolutions will help the game in a lot of ways. I understand that some people are really into 4x3 stuff, but like no modern PC runs 4x3 anymore. And I understand the whole preserving the original game, but like, if people won't play the original game because of the resolution, then maybe you should up the resolution just so people can play the game again. But I guess this is coming from people who are trying to preserve their old game and make it. But I feel like part of making a game playable on modern machines is making sure that the resolution works. Like, I understand, I'm not saying you should only make it playable in modern resolutions, but I'm saying, like, add it so it can be like that, not take away the older ones. But I guess that's a difference of opinion. This means no integrated community fixes, and all the preservation work will be GOG's own, only impacting the game's functionality. A game that was 4x3 and looked fuzzy in 1996 will still be 4x3 and look fuzzy. If it'll just run on your Windows 11 machine now. That's the pledge anyway. If you want an example of the kind of work GOG is going to do, it points to the recent revival of Alpha Protocol and the OG Resident Evil trilogy, which sounds good to me, to be honest. The problem with a lot of fanfixes is that they sometimes tinker with things that don't need tinkering with. That I understand that. I do understand that philosophy. I don't know if I agree with it full on, like full stop, but because I do feel like a modern resolution sometimes is for our own game's benefit for a lot of reasons, but I also understand that a lot of people don't just do that. Because if for me it's like, okay, if you want to do like as little to the as close to the original experience as possible, I would personally say go for make sure the resolution runs on modern resolution. And when I say modern, I'm not saying like 4K resolution or anything like that. I'm just like 1080p 16 by 9. That's all I mean. And even 1080p, just 16 by 9 sometimes. And that's it. Like I understand that a lot of other fan stuff fixes other problems, but I would say just making sure that the 16 by 9 resolution will be functional, I think would be a nice fix. No, I'm not saying change anything else. I'm just saying that, maybe a 16 by 9 resolution could help the original game in terms of convincing some people to play it, rather, because some people are really turned off by the 4x3. I understand this is a niche product for niche consumers, but that doesn't mean you can't expand the pool of people that are willing to buy these types of games a little bit. Because once again, I'm not saying you should fix anything in the original game. I'm just saying you should make it so that 16 by 9 resolution works. But if it's up to them overall, I can disagree all I want, but I'm not the one doing it, so it's fine. And the fact that they're doing it at all is a good thing, to be fair. And then the full list is down below. This author and I have a slight difference of opinion in terms of how they're doing it, but we agree that what they're doing is good and should be done, because it mostly just needed, I feel like, other than the resolution thing, I completely agree. You shouldn't change anything. If your goal is to have the original game, you shouldn't change anything. Now, for me personally, I personally think that the resolution is one thing that shouldn't affect the game super bad, because I'm still fine with the game looking fuzzy. I just want it to be able to run in 16 by 9 so it doesn't mess with the monitors at all. Because, games ported from old Xbox or 360 or PlayStation 2 and stuff put on PC run the more modern resolutions. But once again, difference of opinion. So here is all of the games. I'm not going to say all of these. I'm just going to say the ones that interest me personally. First of all, it's interesting that Dragon Age Origins is old enough for this to be, I guess that is pretty old. Same with System Shock 2, which is really nice. Vampire, the Masquerade Bloodline, I actually own. This one actually supports modern resolutions. So that's kind of strange that they have this one in there. Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. I mean, that game's just a mess to begin with. The original Fallout, which is nice. All the Heroes of Might and Magic games are also really nice too, because these games are basically dead, unfortunately, the series, which is very sad. There are some games that are kind of spiritual successors to it, but for the most part, that genre of game is basically doesn't exist. The Warcraft 1 and 2 bundle is also really nice. Same with Warcraft Orcs and Humans and just Warcraft 2 Battle.net edition. I wonder if the Warcraft Orcs and Humans and the Warcraft 2 Battle.net edition is the same version that you get in the battle chest for the Battle.net price tag. I'm not sure, honestly. Sam and Max Hit the Road is nice. Oh, Curse of Monkey Island is a very nice thing. The Leisure Suit Larry game. Earthworm Jim. Interesting. I didn't know that had a PC port. Am I thinking of a different game? Isn't this the Sega Genesis game? Or maybe this is different. I'm not sure, actually. Oh, Pirates. That's a good game. That's a very fun game. Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition? What is wrong with this game? Why does this game need to have a preservation? This game isn't that old. What the heck happened? All the Resident Evils. Actually, no. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Interesting. Oh, Mad Max. Okay. Oh, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Yeah, there's a remake of that coming out soon. And the Alpha Protocol. Some of these games are actually are more modern than I thought they would be. But hey, if they want to put it in the category that's good to go for. That's fine for me. It's better to preserve these games anyway on PC. I'm curious how they get approval for this, if they have to like buy certain licensing or rights or something like that for these games. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes overall. I'm just kind of glad that this program exists, just like this author said so as well. We can have differences of opinion on the resolution, all that type of stuff, but I'm still just glad that this exists. So yeah, if you want to play any of these games, any of the games listed in this article that you can find yourself in the description, you should buy them on GOG. The ones I would recommend is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, System Shock 2, and honestly, probably if you've never played Fallout New Vegas, this is probably the best way to play because that game is very unstable. So maybe this GOG version helps that. But that is the video for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, do all that YouTube stuff, like, comment down below if you're going to be buying any of these games on GOG. Also, I just saw XCOM is also one of the big games that you should definitely play on this service probably as well. But thank you all for watching. If you'd like to follow me in other places, I have a Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads if you'd like to follow me on any of those social media platforms. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.